Let's get this channel back to basics. Overly long, elitist video essays. I wrote this about 3 times and tried to make it nice and cordial and non-controversial, and it didn't work, so I'm just going for the jugular here. I have a simple proposition, and I will die on this hill. You never create game balance around the mob. Never. And if you're upset about the nerfs this season, I have news for you. You're the problem. I know. In our modern age, where the 2 dominant ideas are capitalism and socialism, still, somehow, we always cater to the mob. The masses are important to our democratic system, and to be an elitist who would toss out their opinions is just wrong. I actually saw a Reddit comment that said, I come off as an elitist. I want to apologize for that. I never meant to come off as an elitist. I wanted it to be known clear and unequivocally that I am an elitist, and there are no illusions to the contrary. Before you slam that dislike button, though, check out this graph. This is a basic model of how marketing works. You have innovators who will try new things because they're absolutely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs on anything new and shiny. You barely actually have to market to these people because they'll try your product anyway and let people know how it is. Then there's the Chads, the early adopters, of which I am a proud member, and we are the absolute best kind of customer, who only try things once those slightly on the spectrum innovators tell us it works. Then, finally, you get the money rolling with the early and late majorities, and you forget about the laggards because they really don't matter much. They're old and crotchety anyway, boomers and Karens through and through. But this presents a nasty little problem in modern gaming, because over half of all men over the age of 18 are quote-unquote gamers. It's a market entirely saturated to the point that the mob is something you have to cater to, or so people think when they're looking to make a quick buck. With a market this big, it amazes me that people think it's weird AAA gaming is a cesspool that it is. Moreover, even if you have a long-lived project, say like an MMO, you have to keep innovating, because if you don't, eventually the lifeblood of new things becoming, well, a thing stops. The innovators will try it out, and if it's not inventive enough, and they don't give the okay to the early adopters, then we peace out too, and then the majority, or the mob, never even get there. That brings me to the new changes for Project Diablo 2, which I'm split on because again, Canite and Senpai seem to have found a nice balance, but we're sort of continuing this trend to the mediocre middle. The new changes to declone allow you to open a crappier, easier declone with the base mats, and you can upgrade it with high runes. Now, that's a nice change, but based on the comments I've seen in posts and beta feedback, it's mostly people complaining that the elites have shiny items the masses want, and they have no chance to get them. And by the way, I'm not one of those elite declone Rathma farmers. I've killed declone like twice on Pluggy. It's, well, mainly my class, I guess. But point is, I don't actually kill them and make money off it, so I can't even consider myself a part of that. I've never even downed it on live servers, so... But based on what we know about how to market things to people, catering to the middle for game balance, which is essentially what we're marketing when we have new seasons of PD2, it's really all you can innovate to. It's a losing proposition in the long term to keep catering to the middle. Take college, for example. This was meant to be an elite institution for the elite, the best and the brightest and the smartest. And as time has chugged along in our wonderfully modern society, the value of college degrees has continually decreased. And the increase isn't so bad that professional degrees got slammed into the ground, thank God. But it certainly took a hit towards people with college degrees and made it even worse for those with just a high school diploma. It's a pretty base example, but the more you cater to the middle, the less valuable, innovative, and unique something becomes. Now, I've already ranted on why I don't think casuals should be considered in game balance because it's a meaningless term that everyone hides behind, like people on the highway. Everyone faster than you is a speed demon, and everyone slower than you is a grandma, so the only casual that exists is you. I saw this same devaluing happen with Star Wars The Old Republic, where a game that catered to elite raiders with insane bosses and stupidly complex 55-button opening rotations on Marauder became blasé and homogenized to the point it's now just Barbie dress-up in space because the mob, the common people, cared more about how their character looked instead of the actual gameplay. Now go to the canteen on any fleet and it's full of erotic role players pretending to be women. Now, they've done this with almost every franchise AAA gaming has touched. Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, Madden. I mean, you want to know why Counter-Strike is still chugging along as one of the most popular games of all time, even after 30 years? Because they've never strayed from the get good mentality, and they brutally punish their players until they get good and start having fun progressing as a gamer and becoming good and competent and well-versed at the hobby you spend your free time pursuing. It feels good to be good at something. It feels good even if you don't achieve the heights that you wished. It feels good to be better than you were before. It's that sense of power that draws especially young men and middle-aged men even to gaming, because we can literally see ourselves progress from one moment to the next. And when you cater to the middle, you kind of lose that. And season after season, and by the way, I do like these changes in the short term. It's just, I see this sickness of mediocrity catering to the middle, even taking down the passion of PD2. I mean, it's not a difficult game either. I mean, you pump enough time into it, you'll find things, but damn, man, it's still kind of the same story here. The rich have everything, so let's make declone easier, even though the farmers will eventually find the optimal way to farm it. Whatever level 6 or 5, whatever it ends up being, and the mob will still be upset the rich have shiny things. The same complaints about throwbarb nerfs, or multi-shot nerfs, or now this season with venom nerfs to Whirlwind Assassin. Like, Lord, the only thing holding this ship together is luckily that Canite apparently has a spot-on ability to ignore the mob when they say stupid things, and he always seems to find, like, a great balance. Like, I do like these declone changes, I'm just worried, because from Season 5 on, we have started moving towards this middle. But the second he's gone, I swear, we're dead, brother. And they know they have to game balance around the elites and the tryhards, by the way. I mean, why do you think closed beta is only for 99 chasers and the top boss killers? Like, think about that for the moment. If the mob had anything decent to say about game balance, then the open beta would be longer than the closed beta. And they wouldn't specifically say every season, even though people ignore it, that the beta is more for bug testing than game balance changes. That's why the only things that get nerfed are the things that are clearly broken, like Whirlwind Sin was going to be before the Venom nerfs. So chill out. Like, I know this is an elitist thing, and trust me, I don't have all the answers. Remember, I'm the guy who said Infinity works on poison damage, okay? But whenever you feel like it's time to say something is wrong because your throwbarb isn't Season 1 levels, or your multi-shot isn't Season 2 levels, or your new favorite shiny thing got nerfed because this game caters to streamers, remember our fun little graph. You probably wouldn't even be here playing if the people who wanted those nerfs, and more specifically our benevolent overlords, didn't make those nerfs in the first place. You have to game balance around the tryhards. You have to ignore the casuals. Rant over. Get out of my channel. Uh-oh, my kid broke something. What do you do? Awesome.